So that to me, it's not just a scene where, one character and you go, okay, here's my relationship. This is what it is. No, it's a lot of characters, a lot of complexities that you're dealing with. So that's why I think Walter has to be developed from within.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And has to know, I have to know what my relationship is to each person.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Andrew Jacob Brown with Confound Productions, and welcome to Actors on After. And I've got my special guest, how do I say it? Thom Michael Mulligan, the man. That's the little nickname I gave you. Thom Michael Mulligan, the man. Yeah. A great friend of mine he's going to be playing Walter in the After series. And so thanks for getting on, man. I appreciate it. Taking the
you're
time.
welcome.
And
Looking forward to it.
yeah, I just wanted to dive right in and start out by saying like how we met was kind of interesting in itself. Introduced through Tony again. It seems like Tony Cottle's the guy that introduces everybody.
He's the guy.
He's the man that does
He's
that.
He's great at that. Yeah.
And we met, and it was through the Tennessee Film Mixer, because we had a mixer we were preparing for. And then as the more we talked, I think we went out for breakfast one time just to talk about the industry. And the next thing you know, I'm entertaining this idea of having you play Walter.
That's right. Yes.
And then so before we get into that, I would like to ask you, because you are the seasoned veteran on this cast roster, and I'm excited about that because 47 years of hard work.
Yeah, season 2 of Crisp.
Season 2 of Crisp. You are the Navy SEAL of what we have here.
I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, definitely.
Well, I want to highlight that for just a second, because as getting to know you, you're a man that has been working hard and been around a long time. I mean, the 80s, 90s. You've done the soaps, you've done commercials, you've movies, plenty of awards. You're also a producer of a movie you produced, and I think that is just amazing. And I figured I'd let you take it away and just tell everybody a little bit about how you got started, and I'll just let you take it away.
Okay. Yeah, I'm from New York City, West Side, Chelsea, Hell's Kitchen area. I grew up there.
Mm.
And my father's a longshoreman, and we grew up near the docks. And my mom was a theater actress. And one day she said to me, when I was about 7, she said, "Hey, Tommy, I have an audition for a play. I want you to come with me. I want you to see what it's like." So I went with her to it was actually the Hudson Guild Theater. If any of my friends will be watching this from the old hood, they'll know. But anyway, I went with her, and they cast her, and then they had a role for a kid. It was a one-line role, and they said, "Hey, would your son like to be in it? One line, be in the play." It's called Street Scene. It took place in front of tenement buildings in New York. It's supposed to be the 1930s. And anyway, okay, I'll do it. And my mom was my mom in the play, and my one line was, "Hey, Ma, give me a dime. I want to buy a cone." That was my debut stage thing, and that's how I got started. But I wouldn't say. I thought, "Oh, I want to be an actor." You know what I mean? And then I was in 2 more plays with my mom, and then people saw me and cast me in other plays. And the last one I did was called Six Characters in Search of an Author when I was about 10 years old. That was also at the Hudson Guild. And then my mind was on sports, baseball, basketball, hockey. I wanted to be a baseball player, so I let it go at that point. And then late 20s, I started thinking about it again, and when I turned 30, right before I turned 30, I decided to move back into New York because I'd moved away, and I just started taking classes, and that's basically how I got going.
That's amazing. I'm going to highlight a little bit what you said there. You were a sports guy, and you're still a sports guy. You like hockey. You like to play hockey.
Yeah.
And you were a baseball guy, a pitcher.
That's right.
And you had your shot. I'm going to shine a little light there for you, Thom, that you had your shot at the pros, and you were good. That's what I hear. You had
That's what I
game a
hear
little
too.
bit. You had game. You could throw a
Yeah.
how fast was your fastball?
Mid-90s, mid-90s. Yeah.
That's something.
Not bad for a skinny kid, 155, 160-pound kid.
There you go.
My father used to say to me, "Tommy, God gave you lightning in that arm.
You got a rocket arm.
Appreciate it." Yeah.
So you would say in your mid-20s when you started rethinking about getting back in, where was that one moment where you were like, okay, I'm bitten by the bug. I'm doing this thing.
Well, let me jump back before I turned 30. So maybe I
Okay.
was maybe around, I don't remember. I don't know, mid-20s. And I picked up a copy of, it was either Backstage or Show Business newspaper.
Mhm.
And there was an audition for a play at a small theater. I don't remember the play, but I thought that character sounds like me. So I thought I'm just going to go audition just for the heck of it.
Mhm.
So I went and auditioned, and they called me back, and then they offered me the role. But I didn't really want to do it.
Mm.
And I told them, I said, "Look, I'm not ready to do this right now. I just wanted to see what it would be like again." They might have been a little upset, but anyway, I said, "Okay, fine." And then, but I guess that reinvigorated that thought. You know what I mean? And I kind of
Yeah.
kept thinking about it, but I kept thinking, I was married, and I thought, I don't know. Anyway, and finally by 80, I just thought, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to jump in, and that's what I did basically. Moved back
Now,
into the city and didn't know anybody in the business, and some friends of mine, as I think I shared with you, friends of mine said, "Hey, Tom, they watch the soaps, right? They go, you have a good look for the soaps. You should
yeah.
send your photo and resume to the soaps." And I'm thinking, "Oh, yeah, my 7 childhood credits, that's all I had." Anyway, I did, and pretty quick, I got on Another World, an under 5, about not more than a month after I sent out the headshots.
Yeah.
She called me in, the casting director called me in, and they gave me an under 5 line role. That's how I thought, well, this is gonna be easy, right? No,
Come on, this stuff's easy, right?
no, no, and no, well, it hadn't, no, it hasn't been, but I thought at that time, I said, "Wow, I got this already? Wow." But, anyway, it was a start, you know what I mean? And it actually led to, I did maybe 3 or 4 that year, but if you did 2, speaking parts on the soaps, you had to join AFTRA, which I
Mhm.
did, and at the end of the year, because I did speaking roles on the soaps,
Mm.
I could go to SAG and automatically join. AFTRA gave me a letter that I did this
Yeah.
work and I did these under 5s,
Yeah.
and I joined SAG in January of 1981.
There it is. Now, I,
$300.
three for all you listening, it's not 300 anymore.
No, 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 I'm sorry, that's a
Mul-
lot, that's 1981.
yeah. So
Yeah,
multiply
so
that
anyway,
by 10.
yeah,
Now, I can't go. This can't go without saying. If you don't mind, if you can just share for the audience that story of how you got your first agent, because I know there are a lot of actors that struggle to get agents,
yeah.
and what you did was genius, and it just shows hard work. Putting in the effort yourself can get you. So if you would share that, I'd be really great.
Okay. So, I'm a hockey player, been a hockey player most of my life, and, actually in 1980 or '81, there was the, Miracle on Ice movie
Mm,
with Andrew Stevens, who played, Mike Eruzione. Anyway, I did submit for that, but I didn't get an audition. But anyway, so I couldn't get an agent. I kept sending out, headshots or resumes. I kept calling this one agent in particular who's like, "Hey, go get more credits. Get some more TV credits." Chicken and the egg thing. I go, do some theater. And so then I can't remember where I heard about an audition for a Coach Tylenol commercial with Compton Advertising as a hockey player. So I what maybe it was Showbiz or Backstage. I don't know. Anyway, I went right across town that morning, went over to the Third Avenue, went right up to Compton Advertising, and dropped off my headshot resume and a photo of me on the ice. I said, "Hey, I heard about this commercial audition. I dropped this off to the front desk." And they, okay, I didn't expect to hear from them, to be honest with you.
mhm.
That afternoon, the creative director called me. He said, "Hey, we like your look. Hockey. You really play hockey?" I said, "Yes, I really play hockey." "Okay, we want you to come in and audition." So anyway, the long of it is, or the long of it short,
Long of this.
I did the audition, and there was a lot of dialogue, but I knew I wasn't gonna get that because they were gonna get a guy who was more of that kind of announcer, you know what I mean? But they mainly wanted me for the hockey players. So anyway, long of it is, got down to between me and this one guy, and I had to go to Sky Rink in New York, and I show up in, the locker room, getting dressed. This guy walks in, this blonde guy. The first giveaway was he had a green army duffel bag with his hockey equipment in it. Nobody, no respectful hockey player is gonna walk in with a duffel bag full of hockey equipment. He sits down, he pulls the stuff out, and he goes, "Hey, do you know how to what is this?"
Oh no.
It's a back then, it was a garter to hold up the socks that you would, you'd put around your waist, and then you would clip to your socks.
Yeah.
I showed him, and I thought, I think this guy's never played hockey." So anyway, we finally walk out. I walk out, he comes out, he can hardly stand up on the skates, even off the ice, and the director says, "What's going on? You can't play hockey?" "Well, I didn't think you could find an actor who could play hockey. You're done. Tom, go out on the ice, skate a little bit." The DP went out there with me, skated a couple times, took some shots. He goes, "Okay, we're booking you." Just like that.
Love this.
Network, national commercial. Now, like you said, if I hadn't gone over there, it wouldn't have happened.
Hmm.
Anyway, I went right down to the phone booth and I called, I'll say it was Dorothy Bomber Talent Agency. I called Dorothy up and I said, "Hey, Dorothy, can you talk for a minute?" "Oh, I'm busy right now. What's going on?" I said, "Well, I just booked a network national commercial for Coat Thailand." "What?" I said, "Yeah. How did you do that?" So I told her. She goes,
Oh,
"Wow, that's amazing." I said, "Look, Dorothy, if you sign me, I'll have them book it through you." And she said, "You'll give me the booking?" I said, "Yeah. No one's ever done that. 25 years in this business." I said, "Well, I'm giving you the booking." Went over that afternoon, she signed me, and she was my agent for about 10 years.
there you go.
And she really pushed and really promoted me, pushed hard until she decided to leave the business.
I love that. And you couldn't get an agent before, right? You struggled?
No, all I kept hearing was get more credits, or they look at my resume and go, "Well, you didn't go to Yale Drama, you didn't go to NYU, you didn't go to North Carolina School of the Arts, you didn't go to the American Academy,
Hmm.
you haven't been at the neighborhood playhouse." I would hear stuff like that, right? It
Hmm.
was true.
Yeah.
And, anyway, yeah, so
That's see, and that was I know that was a different time, but we still struggle today. A lot of us do, and so
yeah,
that's why I wanted you to tell that story because I feel like it holds up. And what you did, what you really did there, I just love. Hey, you're like, I got an idea. You go down, you go down there, call the agent, say, "I'll give you this if you sign me," and that's what it took for you.
yeah, well, like I said, I wasn't when I dropped off my headshot and resume, honestly, I was not expecting anything to happen.
Yeah,
And then I got a call that afternoon from the creative director.
you had a
And this
talent, you had a skill of hockey,
That's
and that's
right. He wanted first one. He said, "So you can really play hockey?" I said, "Yes." I wouldn't embarrass myself. Okay. Anyway,
that's awesome.
I got it. Got signed, and yeah, and these other agents I tried to get with, it was always no, no, no. Even well, I've worked on the soaps. I've done 5 or 6 soap operas under 5. No, that didn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, keep going. Get some good credits.
Yeah, get some good credits.
Yeah, get
Look,
some good
man,
credits.
I think that's amazing, and I could highlight your career all day. I've loved hearing a lot of your stories,
Yeah.
and I know that you've been blessed to meet a lot of great actors and directors and people along the way. I mean, Oliver Stone is one
Yes.
you shared a cab with, and you've met Muhammad Ali. There's a bunch of people you've met, maybe before and after they were stars. And that's why I love having you on here right now because you just got a lot to bring to after, I think, a lot of
Yeah.
experience. And I think that's going to be beneficial. And
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the
yeah,
Muhammad Ali one was really crazy. I told you how that happened, right?
yes, yes.
That in itself was kinda nuts, but
It's
yeah.
still awesome. You know, you, you've been fortunate to meet a lot of people. And I just think that's really cool.
I have, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And, okay, so the role of Walter, um, I remember, uh, like I'm gonna put this guy. Like, we're gonna read some lines, and because I entertained the idea, I was like, "Hey, I'd like you to play Walter." And I remember you were humble to say, "Hey, look, man, you don't got to just you don't got to give me a role or nothing." I go, "That's not what I'm doing here." I'm just like, I see you playing this part. You look the part in my head. you have that demeanor. I'm like, we should read. And then you came up like, let's read for this. So we met up one day. We had breakfast, and then we went over to the park. I think we shot hoops that day,
That's right.
and then we reread lines.
Yeah, we sat
And
in the car.
yeah, we had to because it was raining. It came.
Yes, that's right. It started
We
raining.
started
Yeah,
out in the park, but then we ended up in the car.
that's right.
But
Yeah,
I was just like, man, and it was a scene between Walter and Eli, which is the character I play, and
that's right.
so I felt it. I was like, man, this is money, and
Thank
so
you.
yeah, no, it was.
Thank
And so
you.
you were one of the first people I cast before the casting call, before all that,
Yeah.
and so you've been
Yes.
on this train with me for a while.
Mhm.
And but I'd like to ask you a little bit. What's your feelings on the character Walter? What are you excited for? And I'd love to hear your take about this character.
Walter is, I think, a very complex character, right? And
I
as I
love
think,
that.
well, he is. It's a complex role. It's not just, yeah, I could just get the lines and deliver them, and it'll probably be okay. But no, there's more underneath. There's more subtext. There's more backstory. You know what I mean? But I mean, I saw in Walter a character who had strength and wisdom. We discussed this, right? Strength, wisdom.
Absolutely.
Someone who wants answers to questions.
Hmm.
I mean, that's me too, right? I always want answers, right? I
It is really
can't
is
just.
you. If I've
It's
gotten
not.
to
It
know
is
you
what it
by
is. Like my
now,
brother says. No, I want to know why. You know what I mean? I can drive myself crazy at times. So
yeah.
I think Walter, brings that strength to the story, and along with his wife Joyce and the daughter, right?
Wendy. Yep.
That's the family. Wendy. I'm sorry, Wendy,
Yep.
and
You got it right. Joyce and
that's
Wendy.
that's the core family, right? And then everything else seems to come in, right? People come
Yes.
in,
Hmm.
more and more people are coming in. Eli comes in, Bobby.
Hmm.
Um, so I think there's a lot on Walter, and he has to. There's a lot of Walter has to know all his relationships to his wife, his daughter,
Hmm.
to Eli, to Bobby, to everybody.
Yeah.
So that to me, it's not just a scene where one character and you go, okay, here's my relationship. This is what is no. It's a lot of characters, a lot of complexities that you're dealing with. So that's why I think Walter has to be developed from within.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And has to know. I have to know what my relationship is to each person
Yes,
as it comes.
man. I like that you said that.
Yeah.
Gosh, that makes me feel so good every time because I've had a few of the other cast members on already that I've done, and they said the same thing. It's a very complex character. I'm like, yes, like it makes me feel good because that's what I wanted to do with every single character to write some kind of. They're not just black and white. There's a
That's right.
lot to them, and I do appreciate you saying that, Tom, because Walter is the kind of the word of wisdom, but
Right.
he's not just that. He's pretty
Yeah.
complex, and I appreciate you saying that. I do.
Well, all look. One of the things that attracted me to this was the writing. The writing is so good.
Ah,
All
thanks.
these characters are not thinly written. They're all deeply well written. That's why I'm saying they're complex characters.
Yeah.
There's more than just what you see going on, right?
Yeah.
And especially with the background of the story,
Thank
right?
you.
With people vanishing and
Yeah.
nobody knows who to trust, right? Who
Hmm.
do I trust? And then now I got to deal with people I don't really trust, but I
Yep.
got to trust them, right?
Yes.
Until we figure this out.
I
And
love it. Oh
that's
man,
that's not easy. Yeah.
you're making me feel really good, man.
No, but
you
it's
know.
from the heart. No, it's one of the first things. I mean, actually meeting you was one thing, but then reading the series, reading the 8 episodes,
Mhm.
writing is so good.
Thank you.
It's so good. And, I've read hundreds of scripts over my career. I have, the New Hope Film Festival I read scripts for.
That's right. You
It's
run the festival. That's right.
yeah, help run the festival. And it's just so well written.
Thank you.
All the characters. All of
Yes.
them. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. And that means everything to me because writing is everything to me.
Yeah.
And I I don't know if I've ever shared this much on any of the interviews, but that's how
Yeah.
I started was writing. I started out writing.
That's right.
I wrote it back and I started writing in '07, and then
Okay.
I worked my way up to getting into screenwriting and then the film industry. But that was my thing was writing, and it's like, man, I'm grateful today. I am that I started there Because had I just been like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna try this filmmaking thing. I'm gonna learn cameras, and we're gonna go out and make. I'm gonna just write a story, make a movie. It wouldn't be the same because I wouldn't have that core of structure and
That's
how
right.
to write character and description. Like there's a lot to writing. In fact, they say, at least most of the professionals say this, that the writing is probably the hardest creative thing because it's something you don't ever get a master's degree in. You
Right.
constantly are learning,
Yes.
and it's so it makes me feel good at this stage that you're saying that, and I appreciate it. That means everything to me. Tell me
Well,
that right.
well, number one, because it's true. Here's let's put it this way. I think it's so well written. You could just everybody could learn their lines and just deliver it. Let's see where the lines take them.
Yeah.
But I think it can go way deeper than that. There's way more to the story, way
Mhm.
more to each character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're gonna see that transformation with these characters. But
Well, there's a lot of transitions in this. Well, first of all, there's a
yeah,
lot of transitions in the story in each
yeah,
episode,
yeah,
and then there's a lot of character transitions, right? There's a lot
yes,
of arc to
yes,
these characters,
yes.
and everybody, whoever's playing whatever, got to find that arc,
Hmm.
right?
That's
Even
it.
within each episode, it arcs,
Yes, yes. Thank you.
not just throughout the 8
You get
episodes.
it.
No, I do. No, it's,
Thank you.
like and sometimes people have to make, split-second decisions
Mm-hmm.
in the story. A character has to maybe change their thinking on the spot.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Anyway, that's the way I see it, so,
Let me ask you this. So,
yeah.
what are you excited about going into after? What are you excited about? Not just we talked a little bit about Walter, but maybe
Right.
as a whole, like the after series in general. Um,
I
I'd love
think
to take.
I think, again, starting with the writing,
Okay.
it's so well written, it's a great story, it fits the biblical end times, the rapture, the tribulation period, uh, and I think that well, I love message movies,
Mhm.
especially in stories. This is obviously a
Yeah.
message TV series.
Yeah.
There's a deep message here, and I think that attracted me to it, and I think we talked about this. It's gonna depend on how you direct it, how it's filmed, and how the ensemble acting comes together to
Yeah.
create believable moments and believable characters really working off each other.
Thank you. I
You
did
know what I
spend a little
mean?
time on that. I was talking to one
Yeah,
of the guys, and I was like,
yeah,
casting is everything to me. Yeah, everything.
yeah. So
And
and the thing is, I believe in I look. When I was in LA, there was a lot of things I was approached about series and things, and I most of them don't go anywhere. Either they don't get done, or they get done and then nothing happens, right?
yeah, it's the
And
business.
I've had people say to me, "Well, you're going to be kicking yourself in the butt if you don't get involved with this."
No,
Right?
yeah,
Many times, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not, and I thought,
You just
but
don't know.
yeah, but with this, I just believe in it. I
Thank
believe
you.
that it could go somewhere, and just based on the story and the writing,
Appreciate that.
it could be. And the thing too is, people are wanting more faith-based stories.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
growing area. Obviously, you know that,
it
and
is.
so I just believe there's a good opportunity that this could really do something.
Oh, I appreciate that. You mentioned a message, and oh, that's really what it is about, the message. We want to try to um, create something wholesome, something where people can see change through these characters and relate to these characters. Because that I think that's something. The whole point of writing is to elicit emotion. And
Right.
that's why we like stories. That's why we're artists and we're creatives, and
Yeah.
we got to do it through character and through story, and yeah, I think the message is everything. Like we want, and you mentioned the end times. Yeah, that's important. I mean, we're using that setting, that backdrop.
That's right.
And I've said this before. I know that many people have different views on the rapture and the eschatology. and all
Yes.
that stuff. But that's not the main point here. The
Yeah.
main that those are just areas that we can all have fun with and disagree with.
Yeah. The story's set against that.
Yes, but
Yeah.
but the message, the gospel message,
Yeah.
talking about the Jesus Christ and the Lord,
Right.
and and people accepting Christ, and that's
Right.
really what the message is, in affecting lives, being able to see characters in a dark place, and how some can transform, like you mentioned earlier, to light. Because we all struggle with things, man. I mean, that's the
Right.
cool part about these characters, is I wanted to write something where it was real life, and I seen a lot growing up. I did. I've seen a lot, and drugs, alcohol. I've seen all that, and I wanted to, anger, and but I wanted to put that in these characters.
Right.
So you're going to be working with Carla Kidd, who we cast
Yeah.
for Joyce.
Right.
And I can't wait to get her on here. Hopefully, I can get her on an interview too. But
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah.
that'll be, I think that's going to be great, because she just killed it on her audition,
Yeah.
and
She did. Yeah.
I think we got a great team for a family. And then
I,
Victoria
yeah.
Buckley
Yes.
is
I
another
believe
one.
so.
Um,
Yeah.
uh,
I'd love to speak with both of them too
yeah,
down the road here ahead
yeah,
of time. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Chat about our
yeah,
characters. I think that could be important.
yeah. And we'll probably end up doing one of those. I'll get all three of you on or something.
Yeah.
Have you guys talk.
Talk
Um,
about it, read, maybe read some of the stuff,
oh
pitch it
yeah,
us, kind
yeah.
of that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Instead of waiting, for the first day on set, and then
Mhm.
okay, I'm a trained actor, so okay,
Yeah,
I'll be prepped and
yeah,
I'll buy this, you know what I mean? This is my wife,
yeah.
this is my daughter, and the whole thing. But I think it's better when you have more of a connection. You know what I
So,
mean?
absolutely, absolutely, I
Yeah.
hear what you're saying. And
Yeah.
I was gonna say, since I've known you a while now, like, um, I've had Caesar with me, and then Jason with me for a while, but you're one that, as part of this cast, that I've been in communication with for a while, and you've seen a lot of the journey up to this point.
That's right.
And I would like to just kind of shine a light on some of the miracles. I mean, not miracles, but just kind of how the Lord put this together. Because I'm from Oregon. I moved out here. You moved out here before me, and
That's
you're
right.
from California.
Mhm.
And then we meet, and it's been kind of an interesting. I would love your take on, because you've been through with me this whole up and down emotional roller coaster ride. I mean, I talk to you
Yeah.
almost every night.
Yeah. Yeah, well, first of all, I mean,
Yeah.
it's let's start here.
Yeah.
When I was thinking about moving here in the fall of 2022, in November,
Mhm.
I decided to go on Facebook and see, okay, what's going on in the Tennessee film community. So I put in
Mm.
Tennessee film, Tennessee entertainment, Tennessee acting, and the first thing that came up was the Tennessee film community. Tony
Yeah.
Cardell.
Yeah.
So I asked to join, and then Tony, followed up and said, "Hey, let us know what you do. Put your stuff up here."
Was
And
that
then he reached out
before?
to me.
Was that before you moved out?
That was
Or
before. That was November
before?
2022.
There you
And
go.
then Tony said, "Hey, brother, let's talk. Call me." It wound up having like over a 3-hour conversation with him about this crazy business. And
Yeah, yeah.
and then I said, "Well, look, I haven't officially decided if I'm moving, but I'm thinking about it. And I really was thinking about trying to get an agent for the
Mm.
Southeast. Oh, I know Janelle and Charlotte over at Talent Trick. Let me check, let me give him a call for you." And anyway, he coordinated it, and I wound up getting signed with them.
Yeah.
And then when I moved here in September of last year, September of 2023, um, I guess not long after Tony had met you, he was telling me about you, right? You guys connected, I guess, somehow on
Yep.
Facebook
And
or
we were
yeah.
early 2022, I believe, as well, when we
Oh,
started.
even back then? Okay, I didn't know
Mhm.
that. Okay.
Yep,
Well, he
before I
started
moved out.
yeah, when I moved here, he started telling me about you. "Oh, Andrew Jacob Brown, he's probably gonna move here.
Crazy.
6 feature films, blah, blah, blah. Okay, great," "You'll meet, you guys will connect," And so that's kind of, where it went. And then, moving here and then officially meeting you and start talking about being involved with the series,
Mhm.
knowing my background of all the years I've done this, it's not untypical. Everything that's
Yeah.
happened here is what usually goes down.
Okay.
There's always changes. It's going in one direction, and then it's like, okay, that's not working. Okay, we're going to go over here, right? And then there's the ups, the downs, the disappointments, the
Mm,
victories. Like, oh, this happened today. Even the smallest thing
yeah.
that's positive is a good thing. And I always looked at when I produced the movie Callous with Joey Lanai back then. My mind was like, well, let's do everything we can to get this movie that doesn't require money,
Mm.
and that's what
Uh,
we did. And again, there were ups, downs, and you know the story there. Anyway, I want to put in quite a bit of money into it, but
yeah.
um, it's just the way this business is, and so somehow we have to keep our eye on the mark. I think I used the story about Peter walking on water.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus on the lake, and Peter goes out and he's walking on the water, and everything's calm, and all of a sudden the wind whips up, the waves start coming up, and he takes his eyes off Jesus. He starts to sink because
Yes.
he took his eyes off the mark. And when I had read that passage many times, but back then when I read it that day, so okay, yeah, you know what? I'm letting circumstances pull me down.
Okay.
I'm going, I can't do this because of this. I can't do this because of that. Oh, this is in my way. No,
Mm.
I'm just going to do what I do, and I'm going to keep my eye on whatever the goal is, like Jesus the mark or whatever your goal is.
That's a great way of looking at that. I see what you mean.
It
Yeah.
helped me. It changed me a lot. I mean, it changed the way I looked at things because I was that kind of person where I do things and then you know, obstacles would come up or things didn't work out my way, and I mean, well, maybe I'm not supposed to be doing this because I took my eye off my goal
Yes.
and
Yeah.
let that pull me down. So,
Mm.
with the series, it's like that. It's there's good days, there's bad days, but it's still moving forward, right?
That's right.
It's moving
Keep
forward.
moving forward.
It does.
I'm glad that you're a part of this. I mean, big time.
I am too. No, I am too,
Yeah.
Andrew. I love acting, and I
Mm.
think I look at this as a challenge. To bring Walter to life and bring something to it to add to his story. And yeah, I can't wait to be on set.
I feel like I'm being spoiled though, to be honest with you. Like
What's that?
oh, I got you. I mean, you're 47 years experience, and I can't imagine. That's just a lot of years, man. Putting in time. You've seen a lot. You've done a lot, and to get somebody who's done all that and is
Thank you.
still doing and going strong, I'm getting you. I feel like I'm getting an all star. I mean that
Oh,
from my
thank
heart.
you, Andrew. I
And
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I've been so blessed with this cast. Like the people we're
Yeah,
getting for this series, again from all over, different states, and they all got their own strengths and
yeah.
they're at their height. I think a lot of these people, including yourself, and I'm like, man, I'm getting some all stars, and so you are going to bring a lot of wisdom, and I'm
Thank you.
excited.
Well, the reason is because I've been doing it for so long, right? I
Yeah,
learned something along the way. You know what I mean? And
a little bit. I mean,
I will say it's the love. I'm still doing it because I still love acting. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it. Because why else would I be doing it?
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
because it can drive you crazy, right?
Now, have you ever tried to
As you know,
quit?
we talk. No, I mean, we talk about it, right? But
Have you, have you ever
we
tried to
won't.
quit?
Oh man, how many times I wake up and go, I'm done. I'm not getting another headshot. I'm not getting another resume made. I'm not taking another class. I've had it. That's it. I
Yeah,
don't care. And then of course, then the call comes.
yeah.
It takes you back. It takes you
I
back in.
On top of that, let's say this. I
Yeah.
would say for me, you are an inspiration to me. You are a guy that keeps going because I've heard all your stories. You have a lot of great stories. You've been right there so many times with great projects, and then you just didn't get it. You were the one guy, you know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
know, I
It's
won't
true.
spoil all the stories, but I mean, you
Yeah.
could tell anyone you want. But I mean, like I said, the Oliver Stone in the cab. You met Bruce Willis when you were catering.
Right before he got the audition for
Uh,
Moonlighting,
yeah, there you go. See,
he was just
uh,
Bruce. I didn't know his last name. I just knew he was Bruce. He was a
okay.
bartender. We
Yep,
talked about acting technique and stuff like that. I
dude.
came in one day and he goes, "Hey, I have an audition for this TV show for Moonlighting here. They're bringing me out to LA for another audition." That was it. Bruce
That was
was
the last
gone.
time you saw him?
That's it.
I'm blown away. You did an acting. You had an acting class one time, and Madonna was a part of it.
That's this is totally true.
You told
One
me so many
million,
different.
yeah,
Yeah,
1,000,000%. You want me? I'll tell you this story
it's up to
quickly if
you.
you.
Whatever you want to share. I
Okay.
just think it's great
So
stuff.
I started doing this 3-year Meisner class, and I did it with a guy who came out of the neighborhood playhouse who worked with William Alderson,
Okay.
who worked under Sanford Meisner, who was the original Meisner technique. Anyway, I decided instead of going to neighborhood playhouse, I decided to go with Spider Duncan. Anyway, so about 3 or 4 months into the class, this actress Jennifer said, "Hey, this friend of mine, Madonna, is moving here from Michigan. Can she get into the class?" So he allowed her to come in, and she came. And I remember she had like a really short haircut, right? And they lived in a little, the two lived in a little studio apartment, and they would tell me they would go to happy hours to eat at the bars because they had hors d'oeuvres, and they would go all the good bars, and guys would buy them drinks. Anyway, but one day our coach was really, he was very, when you got up front, he didn't let you off easy. He drilled down deep, and sometimes it was aggravating, truthfully, but it went so. But anyway, one day he was drilling down on her, and she's like, "You know what? I don't need this. I'm going to be a big singing star. I'm done." She walked out. A year later, like a virgin, Madonna.
She got that one right, didn't she? I want you to share this one last story because I know how I've already had issues with my casting, but I mean, I want you to tell the story of The Natural. Tell that story, please, because a
Oh,
lot of
okay.
people don't understand how casting works. They
Okay.
think it's you get the role for doing the best audition. That just isn't
Yeah.
the way it works.
Okay. Well,
Tell that story.
so Dorothy, who signed me, this was after I got signed with her.
Okay.
I read somewhere that Robert Redford bought the rights to The Natural, Bernard Melliman. They're going to make a feature film. So I told Dorothy, I said, Dorothy, if you see this come up, please submit me because I'm a baseball player. Okay. So anyway, comes along and she calls me and says, "Yep, they're casting for it. I'm submitting you for the role, one of the Fowler, the pitcher, one of the
Okay.
pitchers, right?" And so the first audition was in. It was on a baseball field on the west side of New York, and there was a lot of people. They had the Tony Ferrara, who worked for the Yankees. He was there like the scout,
Okay.
and you had to throw. And one thing is you had to have really good control. Okay, so I threw that day. Uh, they liked me enough to move me on to the next round. We had had a second call back, then a third call back, and then it's down to maybe 10 guys. Then it was a fourth call back and a fifth, and it was down to me and the guy who played Fowler. And they gave it to him. Now I will say he looked more like he looked older than me. I mean, I was 33, but I looked like I was 23. Okay, but my pitching got me that far, right? Because you're pitching to Redford,
Yeah.
right? You actually, if you saw the movie, yeah, you're pitching to Redford.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, it was like, well, anyway, this guy got the role of Fowler, and what my agent Dorothy told me was she said, this is what she told me. She said, yeah, the director Barry Levinson said you were. I guess they felt you would detract from Redford because you were too good looking.
Love this.
That's what she told me, right? And I'm thinking, what? I can't. Why? What? He's Robert Redford. I'm this guy. Anyway, who knows? All I know is I was right there,
But you
and
said something about the essence. Isn't this the story? Or am I getting it wrong? That you had
about
too
the
much.
essence. Oh, no, no, no. No, that was that was
Oh,
a
is that a
different
different one?
audition for something else. But no, this was mainly they felt, and I would agree with it that he looked more like a guy that
Okay.
played in the 30s
Okay.
than I did. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
But
But
okay, so that's the point. He looked the part. He looked the part.
that's right.
Yeah. And then the other one was the essence. I know that was another thing. A
Oh,
story.
that was the.
You didn't have the
Okay,
essence.
I'm not gonna say the name. I'm gonna say it's a
Don't
SAG
say the
feature.
name of it.
It was a SAG feature film about
Okay.
3 years ago now. I really wanted to get it was this crazy. It was a dark comedy. This crazy dentist. Okay, And I had, it was all self-tape, right? So I did once,
Oh,
then I
yeah.
said second, then they asked me to do a third. Now can you try this? 5 callbacks, 5 self-tapes. And it got down to between me and this other guy, and they go, "Okay, we'll be back in touch with you." And I'm thinking, I don't know what more you need to see. 5 self-tapes? I get a letter, an email a couple weeks later saying basically they're going with the other guy because my essence, my acting persona in essence was too much like the lead actor's persona in essence. So they were casting the other guy even though they felt I read better for the role.
So that is proving my point. Like, for all
What
you
do you
actors out there, you don't know what
Yeah.
goes on behind casting.
Yeah, what are you
You
gonna
just
do? Like, I said, "Okay, well, look, thank you for the opportunity. I wish you the best." I mean, what could
that
I say? It
nothing.
was a little aggravating though having to do 5 self-tapes,
Yep.
but anyway, yeah, that's
And I would say, and this is coming from a seasoned warrior right here, like that is the reality of how it is, right, Tom? I mean, you would say sometimes you get
totally.
5 callbacks, sometimes you don't get any, sometimes you get 2, and sometimes your essence isn't the same, sometimes you look the part, you don't.
Let me
I
let me
mean,
share this real quick too. I
go
did this
ahead.
industrial audition for this industrial. It was a 1 week shoot in Atlanta, okay? It was a husband, wife, and a kid,
Mhm.
and I had a lot of dialogue, so I had my dialogue down. I show up for the audition. I walk in and the director goes, "I hate to do this to you, but I rewrote your your part." This is on the audition, right? And I said, "Okay," because now he goes, "Look, if you want, you go out there. We got other people. You come back in 30 minutes." I said, "No, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Let's just cold read it." I don't know why I was like that. Anyway, I did it and I got booked. And when I got down to Atlanta, he told me, he said, "The reason I booked you was when I changed it on you and you didn't go, okay, you didn't get upset. You didn't go out in the hall. You just said, hey, you know what? Let's just do it.
Ha!
That made me feel confident in you. And that's why I booked you."
There's another reason right
Yeah.
there.
But what if I said, "Okay, yeah, okay, right. All right, I'll go over it. Right. I'll see you in 30 minutes," and walk out and then come back in and I'm probably upset by that time, right? Because now I gotta try to learn it. But
Get your
yeah,
attitude in,
that's
yeah.
a good story. That's true. That's what happened. I spent a
Man.
week in steamy hot Atlanta and it was smoking hot that week. It was in August.
Dang. All right. Well,
Okay, anyway.
I won't make you tell too many stories, but
Yeah,
this is the fun that you and I have talking about these old
yeah,
stories because it's crazy how how we've
yeah.
evolved, and you got a lot to bring. And so I want to say this before we go. Let me ask you a couple questions I like to ask everybody. But what is your favorite movie that when it's on you can stop and watch it? And I think I know what it is, but you tell me. If you had one movie you can say is probably
Well,
your favorite
yeah.
that
I
you
mean,
can
there's a
watch.
lot of movies I really like that I'll watch when they come on. If I'm working on the computer, if they can't watch them. I mean The Natural is definitely one of them.
Oh, okay.
It's one of my all-time favorites, and whenever I would get depressed, I'd put that on because to me, it was more than a baseball story. The baseball story was the setting behind the real story, and that scene when he walks into the 16 years later, after he'd gotten shot, walks into the ballpark slowly, and he had signed a contract. They saw him in the minor leagues. It's like
Mm-hmm.
he's getting his shot. So don't give up. That's what that scene would always do.
Yep.
Like, don't give up,
Yep.
even for acting, right?
Yes,
But
Caesar Callo would
yeah,
actually agree with you. He
yeah,
loves the movie.
yeah. But the other, like Road Warrior, I love Road Warrior. My Cousin Vinny, when that comes on, I've seen it so many times. It's the same thing, but yet it's that good, stuff like
There's
that.
one movie you didn't mention that I thought you were going to mention.
Okay, what's that?
Casablanca.
Oh, okay. I thought we were talking. Yes,
I th-
Casablanca is my all-time favorite movie.
Okay, I thought you were going to
That's
say
my
that.
old, and I hope they never try to remake Casablanca.
Oh, jeez.
Because
I don't
every
think they
time I
will.
watch that, when it gets to that last scene, I start getting teary-eyed.
That's why you got to get on that plane.
We'll always have Paris. We'll always have,
Yes.
you gotta go on a plane. We'll always have Paris. The look between the 2, that's why you can't recapture that, the chemistry between him and Bergman, right?
Yeah.
It's like it brings me to tears every time.
I I don't know why I thought of this just now, but I think one of the funnest things that you and I have when we talk is we like to imitate all these actors. We always
Andrew?
do the Liam Neeson every night.
Oh, the Liam.
Liam
I've got
Neeson. Oh gosh.
But Andrew, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Yes. Yes.
Casablanca, right?
I
The
don't know who
final
you
line.
are. I don't know what you want.
Go ahead. Go do it. Do it. Come on.
No, no,
Come on.
no. Let me ask you one more question, man.
Yeah.
I ask this to everybody too. So, if you were to act with and do a scene with a Hollywood actor on the After series, they have to be alive today. Who would it be? One actor or actress. Who would it be that you could do a scene with in the After?
Denzel Washington.
Wow. Right there, buddy.
Yeah, Denzel. Yeah.
Denzel.
Yeah, that would be pretty amazing. Yeah.
I love Denzel Washington, man. I just,
Because
man,
he's so intense.
he's just great. He's just the
Training
guy can
Day?
act, huh?
Training Day? That what he did in Training
Oh,
Day? That
man, he
was
turned into a
unbelievable.
monster.
You know, totally. So yeah, I would say, I would say Denzel would be number one. Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Well, there it is, man. I appreciate you coming on here and telling everybody a little bit about yourself. Is there anything you'd like to say before we go, or anything you want to add that maybe I missed?
Just to to everybody out there who's ever watching this, actors, actresses, whatever you're doing in the business, keep the faith. It's not an easy business, and sometimes we may not see an opportunity in something that we should be seeing. You know what I mean? It's like right in front of us, but we don't like the After series.
It's interesting you
It's
say
an
that.
opportunity here. But yeah. So it's like sometimes we may miss something that's knocking right on our door because of whatever is going on in our life. Maybe we don't see it, but it's a tough business. But if it's what you want to do, you got to keep at it. And then when you get the chance to act, then bring it. Bring your best self. Be the best you can be. You know what I mean? Don't just think, I can just show up and, well, I won't get into this other stuff, but that we talk about.
Hey,
But
I will say I think that's a great thing to say, a great answer, because a great that you're shining a light on that, because I would say that there's a lot of big projects that have been made throughout hundreds of years or whatever, how long film's been going on, but that have they didn't know that it was going to be great.
they never knew.
Well, Hoosiers, nobody knew Hoosiers was going to be good.
No,
Gene Hackman didn't think it was.
no. Casablanca. They were just rolling through filming that. They thought, okay, we're making a movie about the war. Rick's in Casablanca.
Yeah, Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
Nobody thought that was going to be. In fact, it was a theater flop.
Let me leave with this thought, Andrew.
Go ahead.
No matter what you do, no matter what we get cast in, this is for us too, everybody. If you get cast and you're going on set, bring your best. Be it a short film, be it a one scene or one page scene or whatever it is, because it's going out somewhere forever. Whatever we do, whatever we film, I have to revisit myself with that and go, whatever we do is going out there and it's going to be out there forever. And somebody might see it.
There you go.
And might think, hey, you know what? Let's talk to that person. I know it's kind of far out, but the main thing is just know whatever you do, bring the best you can, because it's going out somewhere and somebody's going to see it.
And you don't know who's going to see it. You never know.
And you don't know, like Joe Pesci story.
Yeah,
there.
we'll have to.
We'll go there.
We'll bring that one in next time.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. That's all I got. And
all right, Andrew. I'm excited to know you. You're a great friend. I'm excited to be part of the After series, and I believe in it. And I believe this is going to go somewhere. So,
thanks, man.
We just got to do it now. We got to catch up with it.
Well, thank you guys all for joining us on Actors on After. And until I see you in the next video, God bless you guys.
God bless.